Hey, what is up, YouTube? We are back with the second of Eric Isaacson's picks. I'm going to get straight to the message here. And for the second request, a scary 1977 track from the Judas Priest's third album, Sin After Sin. Alas, I couldn't find a live performance with Simon Phillips. Oh, Simon Phillips was the playing with Judas Priest? Really? Wow. Oh, I couldn't find a live performance with Simon Phillips, who was the drummer on that album. However, if you're curious, I will include a third video of him discussing his approach, which includes some of us playing on the track, called Dissident, Aggressor. On a side note, Slayer does a killer version of this track. With that said, we're going to get straight into the video. I'm going to keep notes. I'm going to keep the video rolling and catch up at the end, and we can compare notes on what we notice from this first time listen of Judas Priest, Dissident, Aggressor. Let's go. Interesting. Is that vocals? Holy cow. Holy moly. Okay, Eric, you got some serious picks going on here. On the previous one, actually on the last couple, like doing the Caleb H one recently, doing the last one, which was CCR, and then this one, where do you even begin? There's so many highlights. I mean, the vocals are outrageous. Forgive me, guys. Who was the vocalist?
How dare you?
So I'm just bringing up the album notes here. So Rob Halford vocals are just, yeah, it's outrageous. That's the only word I can come up with. It's just insane. This album is 1977? Holy cow. Okay, so I saw here that this is the only album that Simon Phillips was on. Personnel. Rob Halford vocals, KK Downing guitars, Glenn Tipton guitars, piano on Here Come the Tears, Ian Hill bass, Simon Phillips drums, percussion, credited as a special thanks to Simon Phillips. Additional musicians. Les Banks drums, Dave Holland drums on track 10, and Les Banks on track 9. Oh, Race with the Devil and Jawbreaker bonus tracks. Okay, this sounds way ahead of its time for 1977. I mean, what could you compare this to in 1977? Really tight, really, really dialed in sounds, like a really mature, expertly produced sounding album. Who produced this? Okay, it was produced by Roger Glover and Judas Priest. Maybe I should know the name Roger Glover. Engineered by Mark Dodson, Wessex Sound Studios. So it's like a minimal team. These days you'll get an album and the personnel list is just, it could be pages. You know, this guy wrote this song, then these 10 people wrote the next song, then it just goes on and on and on. This is just all Judas Priest, one producer plus the band, one engineer. I mean, I'm sure there was an assistant, perhaps an uncredited assistant engineer or two, but I'm actually pretty blown away with this. I mean, Eric, this is quite the pick. And again, Judas Priest has turned into one of these groups where this is not what I expected. This is almost, I think this is as big a surprise for me as Black Sabbath. This is far more dialed in though. This is like a bit closer to like an 80s, in terms of like 80s Sabbath, in terms of like sound and production levels. But this is 1977. Jeez. Digging into the drum part, which it looks like we're going to be getting into with the next video that Eric has picked. Where do you even begin? The double kick, phenomenal. Just the ideas, the musicality. I mean, that's what we expect with Simon Phillips. We expect musicality. We expect spectacular drumming, pocket. We expect all those things. But to hear him, just dropped into this group, and it's quite incredible how much a drummer can snap the band into time. Now, I'm not saying that the regular drummer, who I believe on the previous Judas Priest one I did, was Dave Holland, I believe. Now, I'm not saying that Dave Holland, he was all over the place and his timing wasn't good, and now there's a huge improvement with Simon Phillips in there. It's just different. It just is different. Simon Phillips, I don't know if you guys saw my recent Greg Bissonette video on DRUMEO, but Simon Phillips is a monster session drummer. His job, his life is to make bands sound good. It's quite a lot different to going into a band and going, I'm just going to sound good. That's kind of what separates like a session musician, like Simon Phillips, legit session monster. It's what can separate someone like that from a band drummer who knows all the songs, can play them all, and sort of ticks all the boxes, does everything right, but there might not be, there might just be something that's not taking it to that next level. This is incredible. I was blown away with the previous Judas Priest. I'd love to go and have like a listen top to bottom of the album before this, so their second album, and then listen to this one and just see what it does to the sounds. The guitar riff, I mean, I started making notes here, then I gave up because it's just like I was just lost in the song really, but I noticed the guitar riff and I've noted that down, that it was just such a killer guitar riff. And I think it's really easy for us to say, wow, that song's got a great guitar riff, which it does, but you can forget the role that the drummer can play in the guitar riff. Now you're thinking, What the hell are you talking about to guitar riff? If the drummer is bringing the heat and he is snapping the bass player into line and they're just in seventh heaven and working as a team, the rhythms, like everything lining up, and you get this compounding effect of, for the guitarist, it's just like floating on air, because it's like, I've got this dream rhythm section and my job is so easy now, and I've never sounded so good. Why am I sounding so good? I'm not saying that the guitarist here is that naive, but you get my point. The rhythm section can just create this cloud to sit on, and it's really hard to describe and really hard to feel those levels unless you've been around it, unless you've seen. And I especially saw this when I was at jazz school. You have the same ensemble, you change one player, let's say it's the drummer, you change the drummer, whole band changes. Whole band changes. You have a beginner, or not a beginner at jazz school, but a less experienced drummer comes in, everybody sounds worse. I mean, excuse my bluntness, everybody sounds worse. You put a really experienced monster drummer in who just knows what to do, everybody sounds good. And I've experienced this. I've been on the wrong end of it, especially in my first year. My instructor took our ensemble, and every now and then he'd kick me off and he'd play, and it's almost like, try and make it sound like this, man. And you would see the entire band like, oh, whoa, and like they're just like, oh my god, I can't believe how good this sounds. One person. It's really powerful. Hopefully none of that came off as a dig at previous drummers or drummers that were to follow in the group, but yeah, just the job that Simon Phillips did on this track, absolutely phenomenal. Vocals soaring, bass work just phenomenal, guitars incredible, solo, everything superb. Guys, remember, original video link as always in the description of each of my videos. Please do go along, support the artist, of course. If you have a direct reaction request that you want to guarantee gets on this channel, the only way I can guarantee a request at this point is via the PayPal link. That's just to say a big thank you to those that support the channel. I do also have a Patreon. It's just $5 a month. Through that, you get access to the blocked videos. Please do remember to hit that subscribe button, like button, and leave a comment. It really helps me out. And remember, you, yes you, as a subscriber of my channel, you get access to a full and free 30-day trial over at DRUMEO. Go learn from the world's best drummers, including Simon Phillips. He's all over DRUMEO. Go get it on me for free. Until next time, take it easy, keep chopping wood. Ciao.